Hey folks, I'm on some dirt road in Missouri, and pretty sure that was a meth lab trailer. It was a trailer that was blown up, you tell me. So I'm gonna put in a river once I find one that's not totally blown out by hurricane barrel or tropical storm. Run up, camp somewhere with the Drifter Hammock. That's the plan anyways. And float back down in the morning. And yeah, then go to Kayak Adventure Series, and the opening ceremonies is tomorrow evening. So I'm done with my dealer visits for this run, this Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma dealer recruitment run for boondocks. And I get to fish a little bit more. So I got this afternoon and tomorrow through maybe midday. So rather than do two separate trips, I'm doing one. I'm just gonna stay out there. Here goes. All right, here's an access, and I don't think I'm gonna drive this rutted road until I know, hey, this is actually the way you're supposed to get down there. Yep, there's the water. Alright, so this is wild. For sure you can see the mud line. There's a little creek coming in, nice and green and clear. All these butterflies. What are these guys all doing? Huh? What are you doing? Huh. Big, nice butterfly convention. Anyhow, let's see a bluegill swimming right there. Picking up. Man, it looks fishy. I mean, but that's total mud out there. This is green. Looks great there. All right, I think I'm gonna do it, because I don't know, I can figure out mud, and I think it's only going to clear from here. But like, if the tributaries are any indication of what I'm going to enjoy, maybe even as soon as tomorrow morning, that's a nice color. This is total mud. I'm gonna have to crank up the black jackhammers and anything noisy, maybe even some rattle traps. All right, I don't want to say I chickened out, because I still may go back here and put in, but I'd like to find cleaner water, and I think that there are tributaries that can give me that, like some bigger ones if we move further up in the watershed. So the whole area got a lot of rain. Certain sections got more than others, because it was thunderstorm like. I mean, it was this huge, massive, low pressure tropical depression, tropical storm barrel after being a hurricane. Some areas got hammered, and I saw that on the Current River, blown up, like just chunky, churning chocolate milk. I crossed the Black. The Black actually looked pretty good. And I just kept going. And, here and there I'm seeing smaller flows that are in good shape. And I don't know. I'm going further up to look and see what it is further up in the watershed. Yep, that's what I'm working with. Maybe 2-3 inches of visibility. It's not totally muddy. It's Not great either. I have a decision to make. Closer look here. Water clarity. Hard to really gauge that, but I think it's probably 4 or 5 inches. I know I said this at the last place, but yeah, let's go. All right, let's pull out a select few rods. I don't think I'm gonna go real heavy-handed. I'm gonna say maybe 3 rods. 3 might be the right number, maybe 4, we'll see. All right, for sure with that level of mud, I do want to throw the black jackhammer on there. This one already has a goat on it. Figure that's a good trailer. So I'm gonna have some power fishing presentations that are loud and flashy. And then I'm gonna have 2 basically black jig setups. And I think I'm gonna do the Better Than a Jig rig, and then I'll do the finesse jig rig with the finesse jig with the larger bat wings. Give it a bigger profile. I think that's a good move with this dirty water. The reason I think I want to do the Better Than a Jig rig is I can add the clacker disc, and I can get it down in there and just jiggle the rod tip, and it'll just can call them over. You know, that's a starting point, but for sure, good search bait right there. And yeah, I do have it on a spinning rod, so I can skip it. Skippity, I like it. Here's another search bait. Pretty heavy sling blades, big blades, and you know, big poofed out profile with that all that bucktail. All right, I got my 4 rods. I'll go ahead and stick this one back in there. Incidentally, this rod tube is gonna be live on the Boondocks website. I gotta look at the MSRP right here. Yeah, the rod tubes are gonna go for $8.95. Whereas the gearboxes, which you saw, are higher capacity. This holds 6. I've actually put 7 in there. The Rod Pros, you know, larger capacity, doors at both ends. Those are going to go for $12.91. So they'll be up on the Boondocks site very soon. So here's the Drifter. I got the frame here. I got the hammock here. I'm going to strap it to the back of the kayak, but I also have it's a prototype rain fly that Boondocks will be making. This is me prototype testing. This is me putting it through actual real life use in one of my adventures to figure out this works, that doesn't work. This is the first one, and this will be the first night with it, so it's good to do more than just set it up in your front yard and put the hose on it. It's good to actually use it out in the wild. So we'll do that tonight. All right, I've changed out of my work clothes into my NRS guide shirt and this wide brim hat. I've sprayed down with some permethrin, keep the ticks off us, and basically have everything laid out here, what I'm taking. Conspicuously absent, man, I may regret this, but I'm leaving the Torpedo behind. It's small water. It's just extra weight. Battery, throttle, Torpedo. I don't know. That may be a mistake, but I'm trying to keep it as lightweight as possible. I do have the hammock itself and the rain fly and some food and a couple other things. There's a towel in there, balled up as it's gonna be my pillow. Here's the Drifter Hammock. I'm gonna see if I can get the Thermarest on there. I just like that laying in the Drifter Hammock. A gallon of water, obviously my soft plastics and all my other tackle in the Lakewood box. PFD, GoPro, paddle, catchboard, camera mount, net. That should be it. Oh yeah, and these 4 rods here. So I'm going to strap some of it here on the back. In particular, the Drifter is going to situate right in here. And I'm probably going to have to borrow this strap that I tied it down to secure it here with the Ike Attack switch pad with this little loop here. I think it fits. All right, let's get it unloaded and let's start fishing. All right, it has been another hour and 10 minutes. I've been not launching. So, hey, you want to be a YouTuber? Be prepared to deal with, well, I'll just say the GoPro matrix of hell rearing its ugly head at some point, and you thinking you have, all right, I got spares of this cable, I have a second GoPro that I pulled out of the dome, extra batteries. Fortunately, I have a very ancient Dakota lithium that is giving me power. I think it's the USB that I was using, and this is giving me power finally, which I have not had the last hour 15. So I'll be able to film now for as long as this has power. All right, just par for the course, I suppose. There are always challenges to every adventure, and I don't think I want the challenge of hunger. So I'm gonna make myself a sandwich, then we'll take a look at everything that's on this, and then finally, I promise, we will launch and hopefully catch some fish here in Missouri. All right, with a full belly and everything set up, let's just kind of look at how I'm rolling. All my tackle up front here. I got lots of room there. My dry bag is probably going to sit right there. Got another dry bag. This has food and my bedding and, you know, the hammock itself, and then I've strapped the frame back here with the tripod, and yes, there's a Torpedo battery. Having lost the time that I did, I said, you know what, I'm doing the motor. That's not going to work with the GoPro. Okay. All it worked to get the GoPro, and it's the first thing to be an issue. Okay. Lay this down here. All right. Always challenges. Gonna walk this under the bridge. Oh, everything's scraping. Camera mount, rods. Yeah, I don't think any of this is going to be easy. One, two, three, jump. It was a hit. He missed it. He smacked it though. I think it was a tail grabber. Kind of had that that spongy, I've got the Elastec feel, the rubber band kind of wow wow. Well, that's promising. Alright, so I just dragged up all that, and I need to remember this spot, because right down at the end, I don't know if you can see that, but way down there, there's a strainer that slams you right into, kind of in that darkness, there's a nasty strainer. So I need to really take note when I come back down through. Don't forget, I might have to walk down that, or just drop down it and do some really well-placed draw strokes to keep my boat and myself out of the strainer. Alright, creek mouth thing was a good haul. Oh, on the jig. That's fun. Yeah, it's completely clear water right there, and he was right on this tree. He may have friends. Alright. Got the first one here on the finesse jig with the larger bat wings, and I'm motoring away from that creek because I'm hoping this guy has friends, and I don't want him to tell on me. It's a 15 1/4. All right, good start. So I'm gonna release him over here. He got me. I deserve it. And then I'll get back in there. But yeah, releasing them away from where you caught them. If there's multiple fish in there, you know, you just don't want them telling on you. That's it. All right, came right back to the same spot. Just put this on the base of that tree again. See what happens. Feels pretty good. Oh, it's huge. Oh my gosh. Golly. Let's keep this one buttoned. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you? The one in Oklahoma hurt. Like that crankbait fish I missed. God, that thing, I saw him jump. That fish was well over 6 pounds. All right, let's take a look at this mud line where this creek is. The 15 1/2, and that enormous fish was right there. I'm so heartbroken. All right, so like mud, total mud. You get up in the creek, mud up to there, then clear, then that. And that's where both of them were. Oh, yeah, so the creek has clear water, and I think that's a lot of what we're gonna get through, you know, I think tomorrow all that clear water is gonna fill in. And I think I'm gonna keep throwing the jig, but God, what happened? It straightened it out. Look at that. It was just too much fight for this thin wire of a hook. Golly. Oh my gosh. Do I go with the better than a jig rig? I think I do. So I'm digging around in my box to replace the finesse jig with one that has, man, if that's what's in here, this Owner 5318, which I love this. This jig catches so many fish, but this one is a little bit stepped up, a little bit beefier. It is a finesse jig, but it's just, it's got a stronger, bigger hook with a more filled out bristle guard. But more than anything, the gauge of the hook is thicker, and if that is what lives in this creek, my God, I need to bring bigger guns, thicker hooks. What's the country song? And more money. Yeah. Try this. This is as narrow as this whole flow gets, but it's just really swift here. Hopefully I can keep the motor chugging through it. Sometimes you gotta switch to the opposite side to stay in the depth. That's all right. I got up a good bit of it without, without stopping. Hey, when there's a refrigerator door, I found it. That's why I built this boat. Alright, I can run that. I don't know that I can climb that. I know the motor can't. So it's going to be me dragging it, if anything. Yeah. Still thinking about it. I almost want to look at Google Maps. I doubt I have signal to do it. just to see if this is all it is and then there's another pool. It might be worth doing it. What are the chances? I got 1 bar. Yeah, I got something. Nope, I think it does this for a while. I think that my best bet is to camp somewhere here. It's a pretty area. And I don't know, just take the rest of the whatever evening I got left and fish what I think looks like more largemouth water towards the end of that pool, instead of messing around with dragging up through what is for sure a strong class 1 and probably more above it. Beautiful area though. All right, so unlike finding a place for a tent where you need it flat and soft and water's not going to go through it, all you need is flat, and that's not soft, but it is flat. I'm gonna hop up there, pull the drifter out, at least get the frame up and see, hey, is this to my liking? Let's size it up. If not, maybe I'll run back in the woods a little bit, but I kind of like it right here. We'll see. Big concern is it long enough in where it's flat? Let's go ahead and... Ooh, that drops pretty far. Wobbles a little bit that way. That's actually pretty good that way. Maybe. It's to be right on top of this little grassy mound. Yep, far less wobble there. Yep, I think that'll work. Rock it, test it. Yep, this will work. So the thermarest really just makes it a little bit nicer where it spreads things out for you. So I'm getting ready to put the rain fly on, and I won't be able to stake out the flaps. I might find a way to tie it off to some branches, but you know, this is not the ideal spot, and I'll be the first to tell you Actually, no, I'll be the second, because someone already put it in the comments of this YouTube video. Jeff, you're gonna die here, putting it next to the river. Yeah, I've checked the forecast. There's like 0% of rain, chance of rain. When you're this close to the water, and the rain, you know, when the water comes up quick, and I already mentioned the dam situation. There's no dam upstream from here that would release. I've experienced that intense with Jameson and Chris Funk, and it was miserable and pretty life-threatening. But normally, when you're doing this, you want to do it up there. Also, the boat, you want to, for sure, I mean, I have it anchored here, but I think the rule is that you want the boat to be more uphill than where you're sleeping. The concept is, if the boat is upstream or uphill of you, you get wet before your boat floats away. Pretty simple. All right, so let me take this out of its bag. I have put the seam seal, there go all my stakes. The seam seal on the peak, because they stitched this in the upholstery division down in Thomasville at Boondocks. So this is stitched just to fit over that little, the end of the frame. So I'm just spreading this out and doing the same thing, just tucking that pouch in on the other side. All right, so with that pouch neatly tucked on either side, we can take our tent stakes and go ahead and put them in the ground. I don't think this is going to work with the stakes, but I am going to tie it off to, I got some of these branches from the trees right next to me. I have a feeling that I'm going to be peeling this back in the middle of the night just to let the air flow, because I think it's going to be a hot, steamy night here in Missouri. All right, with camp set up here pretty quickly, it's time to, I think, head back down there, throw some top water with the last little bit of light that we have today, for turning in, getting some sleep, and then waking up right here and doing it again. I like it. I really figured that the slow, big drop and then slow plop of the Chapo would get their attention, but I kind of get the feeling that a creek or river, small rivers of this size, is something that, like, you're gonna have individual pools that have some really good fish, because no one thinks to, you know, run up into it. They get to live a long time unmolested, but a lot of these intermediate pools, I don't know. What are you talking about, Heron? Mind your spot. I don't know. Chapo, as the day ends, in muddy water, I mean, they can track it, you know. It's loud. It enters loud. It moves slow. Easy to track it. I will tell you, the 2 bites I got, though, like, for them to hit something that just was sitting there and sitting there and sitting there in the only clear water available, it's pretty dialed down. All right, I'm calling it as far as fishing for the day, and I need to make sure that my boat is higher than me. All right, you know, it may not look like it, but the kayak is more uphill than where my butt's gonna be. If my butt gets wet, I know I gotta get up and out of there in a hurry. The other thing I'm doing is I've let out quite a bit of line on this, and I'm dropping my anchor. They go even further forward than that. That river has to come way up, and for that anchor to draw tight, if it happens, it's going to be in this eddy right next to me. You gotta sort of think in terms of what's the worst case scenario. I've lived in the worst case scenario with my buddy Jameson. I got a video to prove it. We were on a river in Alabama that they did a dam release, and I rolled over on the air mattress. My knee went sploosh into water. We had 5 or 6 inches of water inside the tent, and I yelled out, "We got water!" And Jameson and Chris and Chris's 2 buddies, they got up, and there was already one kayak drifting away that was not anchored and was lower, like closer to the river, lower than where we were. Almost lost the boat, but did not. What a pretty little river. I'm gonna get some rest. Actually, I'm gonna grab some food that I brought and eat, and then lay down and probably not even check social media because there's no signal here. Just listen to the bugs and the birds and get some rest. I'm liking this. All right, got a good night's sleep. Right next to the water, and looks like the river's, I think it's cleaning up a little bit. I think it's let's walk down here. I did bring sweatshirt and jeans just to sleep in. So I know it's summer, but it still does get kind of chilly at night. But yeah, let's look at this. Just that rock right below the surface. We didn't have that level of clarity just last night. I mean, you could tell from the water line how much it's dropping. It's not like super fast, but I bet you it's another 3 inches, 4 inches lower than when we left it. But yeah, this set up nicely, and the bug net kept the mosquitoes off me, and the rain fly did its job keeping the dew off of me. I actually left it kind of partial like this, so I had a good view of the stars for the first half of the night. At some point I rolled over, just reached out here and just kind of pulled that over. So that did good for me. Pretty happy with it. And man, time to, I guess, put my wet river pants back on and see if we can go catch some fish. Alright, that's it. Broke down camp. Time to drag this thing back into the water. Go put a few jigs down, see if we can get them chewing. sure we got cleaner water. It's I don't know, maybe a foot of visibility, whereas yesterday was like maybe 4 inches. So this is the pool that I camped in. I haven't caught anything in it, and I fished it pretty thoroughly yesterday at dusk. And it's a decent sized pool in terms of like the overall surface area, but I think what's lacking is the depth. I just feel like I would have found something if there was any sort of significant numbers of fish in here, but it's just been no swirls, no short strikes, no minnows being chased. I don't know, but time to drop down. Let's find the next. And I really feel like these smaller rivers, it really is, I think of them in terms of a series of ponds that are connected with thin little ribbons of creek. That's all it is. Let's go down to the next pond. There we go. Oh, he's off. Man, I am having a slump. But that was a spinnerbait fish. Interesting. Okay. There's 2 smaller ones that hit spinnerbaits. We got some streamers to deal with. Oh, I got one. All right. Huh. Kind of looks like a spot. Yeah, I got a spot. Yeah, he was pushed pretty high in the pool, and it feels good to bring one in on the jig. 14 and a half. All right, you go back. Yeah, I went back to the finesse jig. I just have such faith in it, and I'm totally distraught that I lost that fish yesterday on it. I don't usually have fish that big. I don't think it conveyed, I don't know until I edit, if it really conveyed how truly enormous that fish was. It wasn't like, oh yeah, for sure it's a 20 or 21. No, that thing was like 24, 25. The thing was huge. It was huge. And I can't believe, like, that's asking a lot of that owner, 53.18. And it jumped twice and stayed hooked. So I don't think I'm totally mad at the, at the equipment. It was a long fight, and I lost it right at the end. And God, That still stings. Like, I actually laid there in the hammock last night, and I'd wake up and be like, you lost that fish. You lost that fish. It's haunting. Check this out. That log jam, in order to put it up that high and put that much stuff up there, this river had to be way up, 10 feet or so. I don't know. Some of that's higher than 10 feet. But yeah, just because it's a smaller flow doesn't mean that, you know, it doesn't get big at times. All right, so I've been fishing this long pool, and I realized when I get to the end, this is the pool where I lost that giant, that creek mouth's right there. And I've been picking it apart, and got that one spot up at the top. I think I had one other bump, but you know, it could have been a panfish. But that's it. Like, I don't think there's a lot of fish in here, but clearly there's a giant. You know, that happens where, you know, you get rivers where you just catching 14s, 15s, 16s, the occasional 18 or 19, and not much more, but good numbers of let's say average to good sized fish. But I think when your biomass is tied up in an animal that big, there's just not a lot of room for many fish. But yeah, there was one that was a little over 15 in there as well. So keep fishing, see what happens. We got one more pool below this that I didn't really fish. And then I'm done. It was actually kind of a quick morning. It's only 8:30. Kind of wanted to fish longer than that, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, here's the spot. So the mud line that was so pronounced here yesterday afternoon, like, you know, 16 hours ago, is gone. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down. I'm pretty sure that this is the one that's got a strainer that it slams you into at the base of. So, oh, there we go. Look at that. All right, one more thank you on the jackhammer. Well, thanks for not sending me home empty-handed at the end of this pool. Nice little baby largemouth. Maybe 13 or 14. Right at the end of the pool. All right, let's go ahead and drop down to the next one. I may have to bail, to jump out of this thing real quick, just to avoid the strainer. And, yeah, might get interesting here. For sure, some draw strokes are in order. Oh, that looks like a smallmouth. There we go. Golly. Good largie. Good largemouth bass. Oh yeah. Okay. Nice. All right. There's a good one. On the jig. Held him. I was in a rush to get him in the net. Yeah. Good 18 1/4 incher. Very cool. That makes me feel a little bit better for losing that giant. They're just not in the same class, but you know, that still feels good. Thank you. All right, let's do a quick hook and look. You can see this big rock formation behind me. That's what makes a lot of depth. This isn't a very long pool, but the river slamming into that really scours it out. I actually took some pictures for the thumbnail for this video. It anchored right off of that point, and the anchor just went and went and went. So high volume. You know, just a lot of water in here. There's some good depth, but it starts up there with all that water being oxygenated and flowing along this bank. I actually had that smallmouth hit and get off right in there, and that fish was kind of tucked into the shade near where the trunk of that tree is. Probably some root ball stuff going on underneath there, but like just gentle current that is pretty well oxygenated by what's immediately upstream. If you look at the current in the entire pool, this half is sort of, the foam is just setting there. The current is sweeping down and creating, you know, maybe a nice feeding lane for them. It's definitely got current. There's definitely water movement through there from that oxygenated water up at the top of the pool. We've lost quite a bit of river since I've been through here yesterday. Am I going to float under this? Is the GoPro going to make it? Maybe. This is probably a dumb way to find out. See where the GoPro is. No, GoPro's not going to do it. Close though. Put you down there. Yep. We're going to limbo. Say hello to all the spiders. Okay, and up the other end. Am I going to take out? Am I going to drop down a little bit more? I still have time before I have to go to Kayak Adventure Series. I may venture downstream a little bit. We'll see. Stuff I'm gonna have to walk back up through a bit. I'm debating how much time I have, because I'm not sure. Like, I actually don't have cell signal here, to know how far it is to Poplar Bluff. I need to have my stuff set up by 10 o'clock. I don't think it's real far, but I bet if I give myself an hour, another hour of fishing, fish till 11. I think I got an hour. Another little creek mouth deal. So for sure cleaner water in this little creek mouth. It was pretty obvious that it was here because there's a big old gravel dump right at the mouth of it. I threw it in there and I got tapped. I thought it was a panfish, but it was this. You gonna go 15? No, 14 3/4. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, the gravel dumps are really nice ways to show off. I mean, really easy ways to tell, hey, here's a creek coming in. There's a little bit of log jam right at the mouth of it, and I just cast right up in there. GoPro, stop recording. Yeah, when a panfish is big enough to take on the larger batwings, it's a beast. Look at the beautiful turquoise. The tips there are kind of orange. Pretty, real pretty fish. Green sunfish. Well, I've reached the end of this pond, and I don't think I'm gonna drop down that chute right behind me to the next one. I don't think that I got the time. I did check. Poplar Bluff is 50 couple miles away, so I do have some drive time. It's gonna take me a minute to get everything up there packed away and grab a bite to eat on the way to the opening ceremonies. Definitely going to set up the Drifter to show people, hey, this is how I camped last night, and this is something that lets you do a little bit more exploring in terms of, you know, say you got, and this wasn't ideal for a real thorough explorer, you know, of this particular creek. This was an afternoon/evening and in the morning. And what I'm really excited to do with the Drifter, honestly, is to get back home and do this on the Susquehanna. Because you sleep right there at the water, you just have less of your time. Say you have a 3-day weekend to go do this. More of your time is spent fishing when you do this, when you camp on the river. More of your time is spent fishing when you're not breaking down a big camp or camping somewhere, another green sunfish, or just staying at a hotel somewhere. You know, that drive time really means that it's just less fishing time. And I broke down really quick this morning, and I fished all the way until dark, and I stopped somewhere that was remote. That, you know, if I was at a hotel even 10 miles from here, I don't think I would have stayed out. I wouldn't have stayed out that late, not with those rapids. So it allows you to fish more and fish in remote places, and just have more of your time that you have to get into nature, actual, you know, fishing time. So for $300, it's you know, that's the cost of the hammock and the frame. All right, a few more casts here, then we'll zoom up.